Hello, everybody. I'm here once again to point out the obvious. And what I want to show you is it's the key to peace. I want to show you the key to serenity, the key to the natural state, the key to ultimate relaxation, the key to perfection. And it's just going to be in one little statement. But it's just so absolutely obvious and so absolutely true that we just don't get it, at least we don't until we do. This has to be enough. This has to be enough. That's the key. It has to be enough because there's not anything else. There's no more than this, but of course there's no less than this either. There's no but to this. There's no and to this or to this. There's just none of that stuff. There's just this. And because there's just this has to be enough. And what happens is, if you notice, you get to the point where you can notice that this is enough, what you discover is, man, this is plenty. Not only is it plenty, but it's just, it is just an overabundance of enough. Pardon the language. But that's the truth. It's an overabundance of plenty. This has to be enough. And it is enough. But so long as this is not enough, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to find peace to live in. This is the key to living as peace. No one's living in peace. No one's living in the natural state. I don't give a damn who it is. You're living as the natural state, or you're not awake. And we would say in the natural state. I get that. I'm not really being critical of anybody. But I'm being precise here. This language is absolutely critical. We have to live as the natural state. What's the natural state? Here it is. This is it. This is it. And it has to be enough. This is it. See, when people have said that, there's only this, they're talking about this. They're talking about this. See, I can't find any other this. You check on your side of the screen. You check on your computer, from your side of the computer. Put your arms out and see if you can find anything other than this. Look around. I can't find anything other than this. I look around and I find this. Now, if I want to live in an altered state, if I do not wish to live as the natural state, then I can always see that, well, this would be just right if not for. I can see that this is not quite good enough, that things are not exactly as they should be. First believe thought. I'm a Fred. Always. I'm a Fred, I'm a Bob, I'm a Susan, I'm a Carol. First believe thought. Second believe thought, there's something wrong here. Always. First believe thought, I'm a me. I'm a person. I'm a Fred. I'm an individual. I'm this. I'm not this. Oh no. I'm not this. I'm this. Oh, you betcha. See, this thinks it's this. And this is not enough. That's why you're a seeker. That's why you're wanting to clear up if you've had an awakening and you want to see more clearly. Because this is not enough. This is far from enough. This is not even a shadow of enough. But this has to be enough. Because this is all there is. So if this is not enough, and which this are we talking about? We're talking about this, and how are we talking about it? As it is. This, as it is, must be enough. Because if it's not enough, you're going to go looking for more. And when oneness goes looking for more, what does it do? It looks and it looks and it looks, and it lives a very disappointed life. That's the way it will feel to any individual seeker, is that, oh my God, there's more than this. I know there is. Where's the secret door? Where is the secret door to enlightenment? It's got to be around here. Let me see if it's behind this curtain. Right. God Almighty! I picked up a spiritual book the other night, and I opened it up. So I hadn't read it in years, and I hadn't read it since very early awakening. And I read that book in early awakening. I went, well, now this guy's got it. And I looked at it, and it was right there on the page. I mean, there's nothing hidden about it. There's absolutely nothing hidden. When we talk about, what do we call this thing? We call it the open secret, right? Well, how come we call this your true nature as being the open secret? Because here it is. See, this is it. This is not other than you. I don't want to say it's equal to you, but I can tell you that this is not other than you. And I can tell you that there's not anything, at least within manifestation, there's nothing more than this. There's nothing that needs to be added to this. There's nothing that needs to be subtracted to this. We don't need this plus, and we don't need this minus. We don't need more, and we don't need less. We don't need additional this. Do you see how nuts this sounds when you really look at it? Because it's nuts. You know, what I love is I love waking up insane people. And you know how often I wake up insane people? Virtually every day. Because there's no one I can wake up who's not insane. When you're living from this, that is insanity. And when this is looking for its true nature over there, it is insanity in spades. This is not it. Do you notice that there's a great deal more than just this? You see how much more there is than this? But there's no more than this. This is all there is. And you can check it for yourself. Don't believe me? Check. What can you find other than this? What can you find underneath this? Is there an underneath this? That'd just be this, wouldn't it? Is there a this on the other side of this? That too would just be this, wouldn't it? Is there a boundary to this? I can't find it. I cannot find a boundary to this. And there's not one here either. See, this is the thing, is you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh, that individual over there is telling me about this. Is telling this individual about that. See, that's the same way it was when your parents trained you. So your parents thought there were two individual human beings. And they looked across the room and they thought that you, the unit, the new unit, the one that needed to be conditioned, that needed to be trained, they thought you were an individual unit too. See? Individual unit here, individual units, parents over here, individual unit over here. This is from the parent's perspective. We're back to that magical word of perspective. Now, so the parents believe that they are individuals, but there's only oneness, right? So what is it that thinks they're individuals? Well, hell, that'd have to be oneness, wouldn't it? So there's actually no individual parents. They're just oneness in a shape over here, and there's oneness in another shape over there. It's the same gold in both the necklace and the bracelets and the rings. It's the same gold, different shape. The same gold. It's a different appearance of the very same thing. But if you don't know that, and the parents were an unconscious awakeness, they did not know, hell, I'm awakeness, I'm oneness, I'm this. They don't know that. They thought they were something other than this. And they kind of thought they might be, that there was this and this. But there's not. You'll notice that this is inside of this, don't you? It's really, really obvious, isn't it? See, this thinks that it's got this thing that you're looking for. This believes that it's containing consciousness. It believes it's containing this. But this is actually containing this. You can see it's a reverse. I tell you it's the backwards teaching. Why do I tell you this is the backwards teaching? Because it's the backwards teaching. Because absolutely everything is backwards. I woke up a guy yesterday and I just walked him through it, and you could just see it. I showed him thing after thing after thing after thing. That was backwards. That was backwards. That was backwards. That was backwards. It's all backwards. And you can't see it until you do, and then the damn thing will fall like dominoes. But the funny thing about these dominoes is they seem to have a life of their own, because they get back up. And then we go looking for the thing that we lost, which is the thing that we lost is right outside of this. But this has to be enough, because that's all there is. But see, we don't want this. We want that, but there's no that. When Nisargadatta said, I am that, he wasn't talking about anything other than this. Honest to God. Right? I know exactly why he said what he said. But there's not anything other than this. This, and this is this formed. And what is this form being held by? This formless. You see that? Let me see. What can I find that's outside of space? I wonder if there's something beyond space in that drawer. maybe this drawer. No, that's space in there too. Wait a minute. There's bound to be something in this cup. No, that's space too. That's the only reason. That's the only thing that makes the cup any good is the space. It's not about the walls of the cup. It's about the space. You don't really care what other than aesthetically, you don't care what the walls of the cup are made out of. You don't even care what they look like. Not if you're thirsty. What you want is the space. You want the space that you can put some water in there so you can put it to your lips. The space is what is. Now, all of this is the content of what is. And the content of what is has to be enough, because there's no alternative content. There's no additional content. There's no tomorrow content. There's no future content. There's no past content. There's this content now. We call it this arising. See, Fred keeps talking about arisings. What arisings is he talking about? This one! You only have to surrender to one arising. Which one? This one. This has to be enough. When will you get it? This has to be enough, right? Hell, I don't always get it. I'm lecturing you. I don't always get it, right? I swear to God, I got a check in the mail yesterday. I bought a car sometime back, and I paid a little bit too much tax or something, so they sent me a little refund check. I opened that envelope. I saw it was from the car dealership, and I thought, okay, there was like a low payoff on my loan, and this is probably going to be a couple $100. This is going to be great. I opened it up. It was $14, and I was disappointed. I had $14 more than I did, but then when I checked them prior to checking the mail, and I was disappointed because the check wasn't big enough. It wasn't enough extra money. It just wasn't enough extra money. That was Betsy trying to phone home. Well, she'll just have to wait. I'm sorry. We're in conference now. But see, that's just this trying to contact this. That's all. She's not outside of this. That's part of this. She's part of this. The phone's part of this. The ringing of that phone is part of this. There's not anything that isn't this. And when I say it's part of this, what do I even mean it's part of this? How do you be part of a whole? You're whole or you're not. You're wholeness or you're not. So there are these apparent parts, these apparent pieces. But there's just this. And we don't want to settle for this. And we believe there's more than this. That's the reason we're seekers, is we're looking for more than this. Oneness cannot get its mind around the fact that oneness looks like this. What in the hell do you think it looks like if it doesn't look like this? See, I'm giving away all my session secrets right here for nothing. God, I hate it when I do this. But, you know, but I can't not do it, see? Because I'm not doing it. There's no one home. See, I hate it when I'm doing it because I should be doing something other than this. Do you get this? Do I get this? Yeah, I get it most of the time about most things, but I don't get it to everything. I'm awake to what I'm awake to, but I'm not awake to every arising. Nobody is. Ramana was not awake to every arising. You could come in and they could say, well, we were building the wall over there, but then everybody went off and just got drunk for the afternoon. And Ramana would be, oh, God Almighty. He was not awake to that arising, right? Just in other words, he doesn't answer it like, well, it doesn't matter, because Ramana knows the same thing I know, is that everything counts. Everything in your life counts. Everything you do counts. And the way that I lift this little sound box up counts. The way that I talk to you counts. The way that this video comes across for you, that counts. Some of this stuff is important. Some of this stuff is even serious. But none of it matters. None of it matters. This is the key. That's important. That's the reason you keep your eye on the ball. You do what you got to do. You attend to what? You attend to this. See, we don't want to attend to this because we want to attend to that, but there's no that. We don't want to notice that we're in this world and that we can't find anything outside this world, but we're so desperate to find something outside this world. There's got to be an enlightened dimension, don't you think? Like an enlightened dimension where there's no borders to anything. In other words, there's no sense of separation. There's no sense of border, and it's just a big white blob or a big black blob. We call that the void. You got that. You got that already. That's all there is. But you're dreaming this. But you're not dreaming anything other than this. So for the time being, this is as real as anything else because there's not anything else. There's just this, and this has to be enough. It's a gracious aplenty, I promise you. It couldn't be more, because there's nothing other than this. It's perfect. How do I know? Because there's no such thing as imperfect. This perfection that I speak of is not the opposite of imperfect. This perfect goes right in line with as it is. This is as it is. I can call that perfect. I can call it terrible. I can call it anything I want. But it still is as it is. And there's just this. And it's plenty. And if you'll notice that, you'll begin to realize that you're already peace. And you're looking for peace. That you're already silence and you're looking for silence. That you're already stillness and you're looking for stillness. When you're looking for stillness, that's motion looking for stillness. When you're looking for silence, that's noise looking for silence. There's just this. There's just this. And all this stuff in the head is just noise. It's just noise. Right? Just like my friend here, the ostrich. It's all just noise. I should be clearer than this. It ought to be sunnier than this. God, I just hate this winter. Right? It shouldn't be like winter's lasting too long. It's too damn cold. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I'm not awake. That's just a thought. I should be awake. That's just a thought. Notice that you are awakeness and that you're already awake. That's all I'm trying to do here, is remind you of the obvious. You can hear these words. You are awakeness. You don't have the capacity for sleep. You are awakeness, and guess what else you are? You are this. This is not other than awakeness showing up as form on the background of the formless. And when there's void, that's the foreground. That's not 1,000% true, but it's close enough. Well, I've gotten this off my chest. Thank you so much. And I love you to death. I'll see you later.